in and cut it out.
Zip it up and zip it out. Welcome to another episode of speCimen. We are a podcast that talks about movies and shit, mostly shit. Mm-hmm. And of course, I am one of your hosts, Brandon. And of course, I am joined by my co-host and best friend, Mike.
So,
that is the worst fucking
yeah,
intro. That is the worst intro.
You like that?
Yeah, that's ASMR. So we are today reviewing the movie Gattaca. So Mike, why don't you tell us more about this movie?
Gattaca from 1997. A genetically inferior man assumes the identity of a superior one in order to pursue his lifelong dream of space travel. Directed by Andrew niCCol, who did In Time, which I think I saw like half of it.
I didn't see any of it because it looked horrible. Justin Timberlake and Amanda Seyfried?
Seyfried.
I think
it's Seyfried.
I like her a lot.
Yeah.
She came a long way from Mean Girls. Like, I would say her...
She was good at Mean Girls.
Yeah, she's great. I'm just saying. Like, her and Rachel McAdams have had the better career when it comes to the actors that are in it. Even Lizzie Kaplan.
How dare you besmirch the good name of...
Lindsay Lohan?
No, Lacey Chazet. What's her name?
Which one was she? Oh, the one,
the other girl.
The toaster strudel?
Yeah, tries to make
where
fat
has she been? Wasn't she in Party of Five?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was the youngest one in that. I think she's like our age.
I think they all are.
That's valid. No, not Rachel McAdams. She's older.
She's older?
Yeah,
Okay.
she's older. Anyway, yeah, Siegfried. Yeah, I think that we're all in our mid-30s, so yeah, I think they're all there.
Yeah, I think I saw a little bit. Anyway, I saw a little bit of it. I think it had cool ideas like this movie.
It did. I recall, yeah.
I didn't see the whole thing.
I remember there was a scene...
Like rich people can just buy more time to live forever, right?
To live, yeah. There was a scene in that movie that I saw later on. I never saw the movie, but there's a scene where like there's a car crashing, and it was just so poorly done with the special effects. You can clearly tell it was just not good.
I like in comedies where it's like a crash and it switches to like a dummy flying across the screen.
Yeah. Like they would do that in Fresh Prince when they were throwing it down the stairs and stuff. Okay, so directed by that guy.
So written and directed by that guy. Starring, that was like the first thing. Like this fucking movie, this fucking cast. Like Ethan Hawke, Vincent / Jerome, Uma Thurman, Irene, Jude Law as Eugene or Vincent, whatever. Gore Vidal.
I thought his name was Jerome.
His first name's Jerome.
Yeah. Oh, but he went by Eugene.
He went by Eugene.
His middle name.
Yeah. Just to whatever. Gore Vidal as the fucking director.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
When I saw his name, I was kind of like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. What the fuck is he doing in here?
Yeah.
Alan Arkin.
I love him a lot though. He's
Shalhoub.
Good. I wrote one of my notes about Shalhoub is, "Oh yeah, I forgot Monk is in this."
Yeah.
But he's in it for like a minute and a half.
But it's still an important part. Fucking Ernest borGnine's in it. Like I was like, oh my god. And then apparently Ken Marino. I don't remember seeing him, which is good because I fucking hate his guts.
I don't remember seeing him either.
Okay. Gabby Reese. She's like the director of like the workout area.
Yeah.
And she's walking around.
Yeah. Okay, you're done.
Yeah.
Okay, you're done. Yeah.
Like, so yeah, makes sense because she's like 6'5" or whatever. She's
what's her name?
A goddess
from Red Sonja. Shit. She dated Stallone. Yeah. She dated Arnold.
Brigitte Nielsen.
Yeah, Brigitte. Yeah.
Dean Norris again. Showing up
he
for
was
2 seconds.
A second. Yeah.
Just like Sergeant Trooper.
You sure this is you? You didn't say it was a cripple. And he's like, show me your badge. Yeah.
And then Maya Rudolph, I don't remember seeing her either.
I don't remember.
I think she's in the beginning. And then Blair Underwood is the guy trying to sell him on getting a new baby or whatever. So I'm like, oh my god, like fucking everyone, their mom's in this thing.
I was the most excited because I hadn't seen this movie in a long time.
You had seen it before then?
Yeah.
Okay.
But seeing Shalhoub. But I was saying.
I did not remember
Shalhoub.
Honestly, I didn't remember anybody other than Ethan, Jude, and Uma. I was like, fucking borGnine's in this?
Yeah.
So
I really like Shalhoub though. Like if you watch Ms. Maisel or if you've seen Monk, like he's great. Even in Galaxy Quest. I fucking love Galaxy Quest.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the first time I saw this, I don't remember a lot of it because I was telling you earlier that I initially thought that Jude Law was the brother and like he was trying to, but obviously I mistake the two. And so, but then once I realized what the situation was, then I already knew that the brother was the detective and stuff. Spoiler alert. But essentially this movie, so Ethan Hawke.
So it's in the future.
Correct. So the distant future. It doesn't actually say how far ahead, but assumably I would say at least 100 years. Well,
in the year 2021. Like,
yeah.
Okay, well,
yeah.
We need to push that a little further.
Well, some of this technology is already there though. Like you can, like even John Legend and Chrissy Teigen, like they were able to choose the gender of their kid and stuff like that. Like they wanted a boy or whatever, so they were able to get a boy. So some of this technology is already there. but to not but not to give them,
Complete
like
control.
heart issues. And
well, I mean, that's kind of like one of the central points of the movie. Like, one, do you want to know? How much control do you have? What makes us us?
Would you want to control that if you have a child?
It's funny. There is a
answer the question, Mike. Do you
like gun to my head, I would say no. There was an episode of Scrubs where his dad had some like crazy, just terminal illness or some like, I don't know if it's like Parkinson's or whatever it was. But he was going to go fast. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, it's genetics. So you have like a 50-50 shot of having it. We have a test for it, but there's nothing you can do about it. Do you want to take the test? So that was like everyone's question for that episode. And he ends up like, no, I don't want to take the test. I don't want to know. So
I get that. I think
do you want to go through your life knowing that what is
you got to think about it like this too, though. Like if you're aware that you have some kind of genetic disease that you can stop it from your kids from getting it, I would absolutely do it. Like, Brandon, you have too large of a penis. If you can I couldn't say that with a straight face.
For the sake of womankind, please.
For the sake of all the hymens and all the vaginas out there, if we could just reduce the size of my genitals or my son's genitals.
The amount of hip dysplasia that these ladies are having to go through.
All the guts that are going to be rearranged by your son.
Oh my God. But those are two different things, right?
Okay.
There's like diseases, terrible diseases or whatever.
What I'm saying. If it was a disease, I would absolutely do it.
But then do you want to modify your child just to get this image of perfection that you want?
I wouldn't want perfection.
Color,
eye color. That's those little things like that. Like, I would hope that, like they did with him, right? With Vincent, like they just let it happen. Like they didn't go in there like Anton and modify him. So he came out with a heart condition. He came out with a few other things. I don't know.
No, that's the thing. Like the point of like science, I guess, too. Like
science.
I didn't say sky. Anyway,
I know you didn't. I did.
Like there's no guarantee. Like any way you slice it.
Sure.
Everything is expressed in a probability. So there's a 90% chance that Vincent has heart issues, but it's not. Like,
I get it.
How much?
Clearly he did though. Like his heart was beating. Like his heart was struggling. Like especially when he ran for that 20 minutes and stuff like that.
But was it struggle? I mean, I'm sure it was. But like, was it struggling or was it just not elite? Like if you were on a treadmill for 20 minutes, you wouldn't have.
No, my heart would be solid like a fucking. Yeah.
Sharp as a razor.
Yeah.
Steady like a train.
Strong as an ox. Yeah.
I just watched Walk the Line. That's what she says about.
I don't care.
Johnny Cash. Okay.
So again, if I could take away.
But you know what I'm saying though? Like if you're doing 20 minutes of hard exercise, you're not going to have a fucking elite, Michael Phelps fucking heartbeat, his resting heart rate.
Might.
Right. But at least my heart would be like beating like crazy. He doesn't even have a heart issue.
I get that. And Ethan Hawke looked like he wasn't out of shape in any sense. But again, he even said to ThurmAn later in the movie that like his heart had beated fast, like he's already at a certain age based on his heart. Or I'm sorry, I'm holding my right side, but it's my left. Yeah. But like his heart was already far beyond like its capacity. Even when Anton was like, "Oh, our parents died thinking that they outlived you," because the assumption was he had that heart condition.
That's what I'm saying. Like he should be dead by now.
Correct.
So he didn't have.
Well, he might have. It's just that he outlived the.
That's the thing we don't know. Or maybe we do know when we're like, of course he had it, and I'm an idiot. But okay, that's fine.
Well, if you may, I had been pointed out by many that I was incorrect. And when we recorded the Batman, how I was like, I told you and Luis that I was like, no, he knew it was Bruce Wayne. And I watched it for 3 times now, the movie, and I realized that. But then people pointed it out to me privately, like, no, you're a fool. And so, yeah, you and Luis are right that he did not know that Batman was Bruce Wayne. But anyway, not to my errors because I really don't make those. But why was Jude Law third fiddle in all this? It was like, it said Ethan Hawke and then Uma Thurman, and then there's like some movie a little bit, and then it said Jude Law. I was thinking even in 97, he should be same billing as them, shouldn't he?
What?
Like, cause like it should show their names all equally for the time. My assumption is like Jude Law, Ethan Hawke, and Uma Thurman were all still well known at this time in 97. So I would think because they all had.
That's not in question. I don't know what you're trying to say.
Well, I'm just saying. Okay, it said Ethan Hawke.
You think he should be triple top billed?
Right, like the movie should have said all their names instead of just. Okay. It says Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman. It doesn't say Jude Law in there too.
I mean, that sounds like a problem him and his representation had with the producers to get top billing.
I guess so. So With this movie, though,
Yeah.
as Mike said earlier in the synopsis, Ethan Hawke is the one that was born regular when they had the technology to make these children genetically modified, essentially, to be elite, to not have issues with their bodies, ailments, or anything like that. And so he grew up, he has glasses because his vision's not that good. He couldn't compete with his or his younger brother Anton because he was more superior. He got a better heart. He could swim further, all this kind of shit. And eventually he leaves his family and he goes and just lives on his own. And then that's when things sort of start to work for him in a sense. Not like work, but just he gets a opportunity that he meets Jude Law's character, who he crippled.
Well, no, he starts to work at Gattaca as a custodian.
Janitor, yeah.
And he's like, you know what? I want space. I'm going to go to space. That's who he calls out or gets a hold of Shaloub, and then
it's funny
he gets him in contact with
Shaloub's like, how did you hear about me? He's like, oh, some friends or some people. And I thought, okay. And that's the end of that. We don't talk about that anymore. But he meets Jude Law and had. I
was like, well, here's your ad. Let me pull it up on my.
Yeah. Do you want to be elite? Yeah. What did he do? How did he become a cripple? I don't think that's the correct terminology. How did he? I don't mean it like that. How did he become like handy? Is that even right? How did he become
paralyzed? You could just say paralyzed.
Okay. Well,
Jesus
I don't fucking know.
Christ.
Crippled, handicapped. Is handicapped bad?
No.
Okay.
Who said it was?
I don't know. I'm sure somebody's gonna fucking nitpick. Anyway. Okay. So he is now.
You need to step up your wokeitude, bro.
Yeah. He's now paralyzed.
No. Well, so that's one of the questions of the movie again. So he is. It's funny. Everyone's on like kind of like a hierarchy, right? There's the valids and the invalids. But even among the valids, there's a level of awesome-tude, right?
Yeah.
So Jerome is like, dude, this guy's not even in the best. He's the best of the best. Like they keep saying that. Like, it could be Jerome. He's the best one we got because that's who he was supposed to be. He was supposed to be an amazing swimmer, right? And what does he do? He only wins the silver medal.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't. As much as you want to, as much as the scientists, at least in this movie, you can't completely eliminate chance in all of life, right? Yeah. This is like as much modification as you want to do. You can't take that out, destiny or whatever you want to call it. Well, yeah, he's like, I was supposed to be amazing, but I still only got silver. So fuck it. So he walked in front of a car.
Oh, see, I didn't remember him saying that. Okay. What a quitter. So, but that's the thing too. Like, yeah, they can genetically modify you all they want, but you still have to have that drive. You have to have the ambition to do that stuff. And imagine getting all that promise and be like, I want to be a cartoonist or just, or just something that. Well, I mean, because I have nothing against cartoon. Like, I love cartoons, but I'm just saying like something that wouldn't help your superiority with your body or your strength. Like how, you want to do something. Right. I want to dig ditches. And yet you had all this promise to be an athlete or something.
But you need like all those people. Like
you do.
Not everyone can be an Olympic runner. Like you need to be the engineers and the astrophysicists or whatever that get us into space and
really quick,
the architects that build the cool buildings. Like you need everything.
To skip ahead for a second or back, I guess, depending on how you look at it. So the director was murdered, but throughout the movie, you constantly see space shuttles flying off. But then they're like, we haven't had we haven't gone to space like this in 7 years, something like that. I was like, wait, didn't I see motherfucking ships going off? But obviously,
but those could just be satellites around Earth. They're not going to Saturn.
Or they're just maybe going somewhere else.
Are they going to Saturn? The moon?
I thought it was Titan? Jupiter.
Titan is the moon of. Oh my God, it might be Jupiter.
Oh, that's so. A note I wrote here is I wish I knew more about space because I put on here, poor Pluto. Because he's no longer a planet. He's a satellite. But now apparently, from what I've heard, they want to make him a planet again. Or am I thinking Uranus? It's Pluto. Pluto was the last one. He's a satellite now.
Pluto is not a planet, correct?
But would you... Okay, so actually, as you're looking that up, when Ethan Hawke is peeing into the cup...
Saturn, yeah.
Okay, when he's putting the pee into the cup, I remember him putting the urine on his thing. So how is he peeing when the guy's looking at him?
He probably puts like the straw, whatever, on the bottom side of his penis.
That's valid.
And then so it looks like he's just holding a straw. So.
But then I also like that the doctor kept looking at it. It's like, it's a fine specimen of a cock you got right there, but he didn't say cock.
It's quality dick. What can I say?
I like that there's not a lot of skin, but there's a good amount of
Another
skin.
thing, like the doctor even says, like, yeah, I wish my parents would have given me a unit like that or whatever he says. Mm-hmm. Like, and I don't think that's just like a money thing. Like if the richer the people are, the more elite specimen they can create or pay for.
Sure.
I'm guessing. I don't know.
I mean, I guess that could be a thing, you know, like they have a penis lengthening like check mark. Like, how far do you want your son's penis?
You know what? There was a lag on his dad's computer, so as he was scrolling, so he clicked the wrong check mark on the penis setting.
Yeah, instead of giving him a good solid 8, he gave him 18.
Oh no, it's a toggle, so it goes like shorter and longer, and he let go too quick, and so what are you gonna do?
Hey man, you stuck with the 2-incher. What are you gonna do?
I mean, so that's another thing. Like is these amazing people, like, are they supposed to make humanity better, or is it our kind of flaws in the way we adapt to them that make us more creative and stuff like that?
Well, I think even the next question to ask is, if you're already modified and then you have kids, does that mean your kids are already modified too?
Yeah, kind of. That's how genetics work.
Is it?
You know what? That's a good question, because are they the traits that they're activating in the person already, or are they modifying it so much that it's creating entirely new traits?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like something that would have been like a recessive trait, you know, instead of brown eyes.
Dominant.
Yeah, we're make sure that he has the blue eyes, but then your children might still have the brown eyes because that's the
They all have the brown eye. But
yeah, they do.
Yeah. So, well, that's
but you know what I'm saying though. But so your question is true. Like,
we need a Gattaca 2, Gattaca harder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or now it's in space. Yeah. Now he's on
Get
Titan.
this.
Yeah. Gattaca 2, Revenge of Titan. But
Attack on Titan.
Oh, that too. Yeah. I have not watched that cartoon at all, but a little bit. So anyway, and then the follow up to that is Uma Thurman obviously plowed with Ethan Hawke and Ethan Hunt.
In the movie and in real life. This is
Yeah,
where they met, right?
yeah.
Hell yeah.
And so, and they have the kid, and she's in Stranger Things.
Mia.
Yeah. She's been in a few other things now since too. But anyway, so they hook up. And he's like, oh, here, you can go check. Like, here's what I really am. And she's like, oops, the wind. But like, so that means she wants to get knocked up by his kid, right? So that would mean that if she has hers.
Tricked her is what you're saying.
Yeah. But, does that mean that, so she's elite, he's not elite, or so she's valid, he's invalid, so they can have what would be an in-between of invalid and valid?
In-betwalid?
But then that, essentially, if let's just say that's how it is, right?
I mean, I don't know how the science works because I don't know anything about anything.
Sure.
But do they take eggs and sperm and modify them before, or can they modify the fetus in utero, like change it while it's in her or whatever?
Well, I think what they were saying at the beginning was the kid, they put their seed and the egg together, and then they were going to do it from there. Like, they were going to modify it from there. So it wasn't like it was already a fertilized egg, I think. Or was that...
No one said she's getting pregnant automatically.
Oh, I guess that's valid, yeah. And who knows if it was like if she had that time of the month, not period, but like when you have the higher chance of getting pregnant. What is that? I was about to say in heat. That's I know so much.
Ovulating, you fuck.
For being someone in my 30s, you think I would know a lot more stuff, and I don't.
I love it.
You know what I know more about in women than their bodies is clothing. I know a lot about women clothing than I do about the insides of their body. Yeah. So anyway,
I love it.
They're swimming clearly at an ocean, correct? They're swimming lengthwise. Can you just swim in the ocean like that? Like just swimming out, like, here we go. I can't see the ground.
Does it freak me out?
Yeah.
I'm sure I freak out. Yeah. I haven't done it in a long time.
I fucking hate open water. The most I'll go is me still touching the floor.
Even like lake, you won't do?
Yeah, I won't go in the middle of a lake. Because then you never know if there's like gators or like a fucking Lake Placid kind of thing going on there. I ain't fuck with no
bigger gator?
Mega gator, yeah. Or even a mega.
Megaligator.
The megalodon, you get the megaligator. Because I think my fright, my being scared of in the open water is just not seeing below me, right? And so just like at the beach.
What is that called? Thalassophobia or some shit like that? Fear of the deep.
That's the thing. I don't know if it's I don't think I've ever been in a situation where I've really been in open water like that. The thought of it kind of frightens me. So I'm sure if I was put in that situation, I might try, but I probably wouldn't. Now that I think about it, I can feel sweat brooding on the back of my neck.
Well, so the problem is, so you never gone like snorkeling or anything? Oh, okay. Well, I've done that. But when I first went in the water, like I have the vest on and I have the snorkel on, but the snorkel limits your breathing. Like it's, because you're going through the little hose. So I did have a second of, ooh man, oobly. Like, I don't know if I want to do this. And I was like, man up, bro, let's do it. But once you get used to the rhythm of the breathing, you're like, okay, now it's fine. But like half an hour after we started, like a storm came in. Like, all right, guys, bring it back to the boat.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, we're doing all right. But I mean, it doesn't like, I don't know. It's probably like, oh, a storm. It's probably like 3 mile an hour winds, but it's enough to make the water go. And you're like, oh yeah, I'm powerless in this situation.
Sure.
So I understand your fear.
Again, my fear is just not seeing my feet or whatever. So something could be coming up like, I don't see it till the last second if I was actually looking down.
Really? Creatures? That's your issue?
You never fucking know, bro. What if there's an earthquake and a crevice opens up and then creatures that were now dormant are now alive and they're coming through, they're creeping up like...
Well, we're not watching Pacific Rim, so I'm
glad you got that reference. So there was no, what were they called? Gigan or something like that? No,
Kaiju. Wait, are those the good guys?
Yeah, I think that might have been the good guys. I haven't seen the movie in a while.
Were they Titans? No. They had a Japanese name.
All I know is number 2 was really bad.
I didn't see 2.
And like, cause that was like the height of Boyega, cause he was just in Star Wars, and they're like, yeah, we could make movies off this guy. You can't.
Boyega Mania.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. Like I like him. Like even Attack the Block.
Yeah,
was great and stuff, but I don't think you could put a movie behind him like that. Anyway, not to bash on Boyega. So open water though, can't do it. Not that I won't, but I won't do it. And did you notice the mechanical keyboards that these people had at their computers?
Yeah.
Like think like the keyboard that I have, but like theirs was even less. So mine's like 104 key because it has a numerical pad, but theirs are like 64 key. It was just like numbers and letters, no F1, F10 kind of shit. And I love mechanical keyboards. Like the the tactileness of it. Now I know you personally don't have like a desktop computer.
Correct.
You have your laptop. Do you have a preference on anything like that when it comes to typing? Like, do you like a tactile? Do you like a soft key? Because I know you have a iMac. Or not iMac, I'm sorry. Yeah, you
MacBook.
have MacBook. So like with that keyboard, have you used mine?
A little bit.
Okay.
I notice every time I use them, and I can note the difference. Mm-hmm. But they all seem fun either way. So if it's
noisy.
So if I'm using like a normal laptop, it's like
softer,
a little softer. It's like, oh, that's fun. And then when I use the big, it's like, it's fun, but I don't have a preference. Like,
yeah, it can
I'm not
be annoying.
A nerd. That's what I'm saying.
Like, so I have one at work. It's a mechanical keyboard, and they'll sometimes like, are you fucking with us?
Brandon, because I could type. Fuck up, please?
I could type pretty quick too. I'm like a 67 words per minute, and so it's like it's fast, and they'll just stop and look at me like, are you just typing shit to type shit? I'm like,
well,
no.
I'm up to 3 fingers. So you don't hear me fucking bragging. So
my dad still types with a finger. Yeah, single, like not even both fingers. It's almost a lot of times.
Nice.
Just a single. He's fucking old. He's almost 60. Anyway, open water, won't do it.
No dice.
Megalodon, it exists.
So that's like, it's funny that Jerome and the brother, what's his name? Anton?
Yeah.
Like they both run into like that Drago situation in Rocky 4 where
they have all this
they have all the promise and all the potential and all, I mean, Drago's case, it's fucking drugs up the butt. But once they run into somebody with the drive, Rock, and, you know, they're kind of aghast. Like, how did all of this, and it's still not enough.
Yeah.
So it can be a bummer.
Well, it's kind of like, yeah, Vincent beats his brother as they're like, what, young adults? Like I would say like 19, 20 kind of thing.
I mean, they're probably teenagers, probably like 17 or something.
Okay. And beats him, saves his life, and leaves because it's just nothing for him there. You know, he wants to do this. His parents don't believe in him, shit. And then obviously he sees him again later in life. The brother's going to turn him in, or wants to turn him in. But he's like, fuck that. Let's swim for it, bro. And then they swim for it. And it seems like they make it marginally farther than they did before, but he just can't cut
That
it.
looks scary.
Yeah.
Nighttime.
Yeah, nighttime swimming. There's no fucking way. Okay, so they're swimming, right? You can see the water. You can see that shit. If that was real, absolutely not. It's pitch black. Like, you don't know. And that's why he's like, we don't know where the shore is. I'm like, when you started, you didn't know where the shore was. Get the fuck out of here. Like, you didn't see shit. Because even you go to Huntington, like, there's no lighthouses out there. You go swimming, like, you might see maybe some of the oil rigs or something like that, like a light to identify. But, I mean,
you're not fucking... And yeah, but what if it's, like, off the thing? Like, you're not swimming to that.
Yeah.
Like, you're fucked.
Mm-hmm. And
Ocean's no joke.
And he was even saying, like, oh, we're close to the other side now, so I'm just going to go over there. I'm thinking, where the fuck are they? Like,
is there a lake?
Yeah,
or an island somewhere?
They don't establish this, but it's like, where the fuck are they that he can just go to the other side of it? And then where is this? But assumably it looks like California. Some of the stuff that they did, to me, it looked like California. Like when they showed like all those.
I don't know. Did they show any sunrises or sunsets on the beach scenes?
No.
Yeah.
But looking at all those,
It looked kind of afternoony, the very first one, I think.
sure. Even when she's
So
out with them
that
at
would
the
be
solar
West
panels,
Coast, yeah.
I kind of felt like that was like an LA kind of thing. But they were in the LA River. They filmed a little bit too. So I thought might as well just stay local. But I mean, why would you go to LA for one scene to just film out at the riverbed?
They filmed up in Marin County or whatever for the out exteriors and up north.
But Northern California, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like you're going an hour away flight, if that. Like it's not like you're going from California to Wyoming just to. I know they could.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying. You know what? Stop talking.
Their budget was.
I know that it was exactly. I don't know. I don't know what their budget was, but
I think it was $30 million.
okay. I mean, that even seems now.
And it only made 12 back.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, I would say this movie's good, and like it's. I mean, in a sense that like people should know it, like because it kind of makes me think of a 1984.
Yeah.
With like a little bit of, I don't know, like space travel.
It reminds.
That's Mike making noises.
For some reason,
guys.
I always
keep in mind Mike didn't like me making noises apparently, but he's the one that does very vocal noises with his mouth.
Yeah, but I'm not going whatever the fuck.
I don't.
Pops or whatever.
I would snap.
Yes.
I don't.
But those are like abrasive. Like
Your noises that you just made with your mouth, like that's not.
first off, that's not what I did. It was more of like a teeth thing, not
Okay, do it again.
not a cheek. Like
Let's see it.
no, it sounds all.
No, see, that sounds gross.
That was all
You're sick.
wet, like yours was.
Moist is the best word
Yeah.
to use. Yeah.
Ugh.
Ooh, boy. Why is moist such a weird word for many
don't know.
people? I don't get it. Pussies. So what were you gonna say?
I don't even remember now.
Good.
Fuck you.
Keep it that way. So seeing Tony Shalhoub in, even though he was very, very little in this movie, but seeing him be serious kind of weirded me out. Like most time I see him in, I've mostly seen him in like more of a comedy role, but seeing him just like straight, like, you know, oh, when this is done, you get 25%. This is this. There's no joking of him at all. There's very little jokes in this movie, really. But
It's funny. He reminds me of John Turturro.
yeah,
So I can see him doing I could see him playing Carmine in the Batman.
I couldn't.
You couldn't?
No, because I think most of the stuff I've seen.
He does seem shorter, so maybe that's it.
Well, yeah. Turturro looks like he's at least 6 foot, and Shalhoub maybe like my height, if not a little bit taller. But again, I not Turturro does good comedy as well, but I think I've mostly seen Shalhoub as the comedy guy. I can't think of many movies where he's the straight guy. Like
I don't know, but
right.
you know, okay.
Turturro, like I could name quite a
Once
few.
again, just trying to limit his
Yeah,
possibilities.
what I want to do is pigeonhole him.
Yeah.
To being only comedy.
Yep.
So that way, when he passes, that I could always have those good fond
you're
memories.
you're just like the cops in Gattaca, man. You just want to try to find the invalids and.
I want to like. Why was that eyelash there, bro? Was it eyelash or was it a
Eyelash? Yeah.
eyelash? Yeah.
Well, he probably shouldn't have did the wipe eyes when he saw the dead body.
Well, I initially had a note where I was like, did Ethan Hawke kill this guy? Because I was trying to remember when the first time I saw it. And then clearly the next scene, he's like, oh, I didn't do it. And I was like, okay. But is it kind of those things where he's like, I didn't do it? And
Well, because he does say the only person who has ever gotten close to finding me was the guy who died. So.
But see, that was in the past, correct? That wasn't current, no?
I mean,
I think he made it seem like
before he's dead. So yeah, technically the past.
Okay, yes, but I thought it was like
Years before or something.
potentially, yeah, or like maybe.
I don't think they specified, but
Okay, but see, so he was killed by
but kind of just like you're like give a little bit of unknown so they can intrigue some people.
But so the director was killed by the other director.
Yeah.
And
I want to say the guy who died was that particular mission director, and Gore Vidal is like the Gattaca facility director, overall director. He didn't want to lose the launch. That's why he killed him.
so what was the reason for, did they ever say the reason for losing the launch?
No, I don't think so. It's probably one of those things where like, you know, his probability was a little too low. He's like, I really like a 85%.
Yeah, this is 84.8.
Success
This is tough.
probability, and
Yeah.
it's at 84.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah, it's
Gore.
a little too low.
Gore. Can I call you Gore? No, you can't. It's not my name.
My name's not Gore. My name is Jason. I'm gonna call you Gore Vidal. Does that sound cool?
Joseph.
Yeah. So he's murdered.
So yeah, it's, you know, who knows?
He's murdered by a keyboard, mind you, and like so
That old
bludgeoned.
fucking guy bludgeoned him with that?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
That's a lot of strength you need to bludgeon somebody, and that keyboard would have probably snapped if you swing hard enough to unless they're like
Plastic, right?
yeah. Well, the funny thing is, my keyboard, the one that I have,
Made
is
out of adamantium?
aluminum, so it's heavier. But the one I have at work is actually weighted. So like it just has a sturdiness to it. So lifting it up, it's a solid. It's probably like 2 pounds, 3 pounds. Like it's just sturdy. But I have to have like my wrist guards on them because they're just a little too high. That my wrist being bent, my old man carpal tunnel could come up. But then I can always get acupuncture like I did on my foot, and then just make it all go away with magic.
Yeah,
because that's what acupuncture is. Magic.
100%.
It's witchcraft, really.
Yeah.
So
I don't remember, and I haven't looked it up. You might not know. Is this movie PG-13 or rated R?
They don't show any full frontal penetration, which I was hoping for.
How many rated R movies do you show? 0, motherfucker. That's what it is.
There wasn't a lot of profanity though, and there was like no blood.
Only because like the head was pretty gory when they showed it.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I could think of. But I just wasn't sure.
Yeah, there's not. Like, I don't even remember much profanity if there was any.
Jude Law has to curse. I think he says the F word a bunch of times.
I don't know about that. I'm usually pretty good about profanity, but okay. So you don't have it open on your fucking thing?
Yeah, I do. Fuck you.
Fuck you. So what's up with Jude Law's family?
What do you mean?
Well, where were they?
A lot of people don't have families.
What's that about?
I don't know. It's PG-13.
Yeah.
I just thought because when I saw the gore, I'm like, it's a little gory than I remember.
But it's 97 as well.
Yeah.
So 97, they probably weren't.
I swore he said the F word a couple times. I'm making it.
Maybe they had different standards back then. Remember Who Framed Roger Rabbit? And that was Beetlejuice being PG.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Actually, Kramer versus Kramer is PG, and there's full frontal lady nudity. So yeah.
And that was like what, early 80s, right?
70s, but yeah.
Oh, was that really? Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
Oh my god,
he's
is
so
it?
old.
Now you're making me think. Yeah, I think it's 70s.
God, how is he so old? They're both so old.
Dustin Hoffman, Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, I love Meryl. I think Meryl's great, and Dustin's all right.
Dustin's kind of a dick.
Yeah, from what I read. Yeah. Anyhow, so my question about Jude Law's family. Yes, I'm sure families can die. Obviously, even Vincent and Anton's parents died.
Yeah.
But my thought is just like, well, maybe they're siblings or something like that. That would wonder, like, hey, what happened to Jerome? And,
well, Vincent does the same thing. He goes off, and his family never sees him again. So he might have family. He was so distraught from only getting silver, like his entire life had been a lie at that point. He murdered his family. That's exactly what I was.
That's what I was going. Yeah, we're on the same wavelength there. I got you.
He moved into his big, huge house with huge stairs that he can't climb.
Right,
and
that was the parents' house
to drink himself to
death.
death.
Got there. Yeah. He crawled his way in.
They spent all their money on the house and genetically modifying their stupid kid.
Yeah,
he still failed them, so they killed themselves.
Silver,
they also incinerated themselves.
Mm-hmm. That bummed me out.
Yeah,
I didn't remember that at all. And then once he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to go on a trip," and I thought, where are you going? Because who's going to let you go anywhere in a wheelchair?
Is there a ramp? You fucking fuck. You son of a bitch.
You said that. Is there a ramp?
You opened the door.
He's going to show up. They're like, hey, sorry, buddy. We don't have ramps. That's okay. I got it. And he just crawls up like army. That's
terrible.
Fucked.
You fucked up. That is a cool scene, though. Him
when he
crawling
crawled up
and then sitting down.
And then when he had to cross his leg and stuff like that. And Uma Thurman just going with it. Like, okay, let me go give this guy a kiss. I don't know who this fucking guy is. She went with it. Like, she is a trooper.
Uma, like, fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
But she's gorgeous in a way where she looks kind of weird because her eyes are so big. Okay. She's almost like superhuman. Does that make sense?
No. Explain.
Like her features, like she's so tall.
Okay.
So skinny, right? Mm-hmm. She kind of looks like, you know who Elizabeth Debicki, I think is her last name?
No.
Did you ever see, she's in Thor.
He did it again.
Oh yeah, sorry. She's in Thor, the last Thor. She's one of the golden.
Ragnarok?
Yeah. Okay. She's one of is it Thor or is it Guardians of the Galaxy? With
Guardians of the Galaxy.
The golden people.
That's Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah.
She's one of those, I think. And
was she the main one?
Yes.
Okay.
And then what's the Christopher Nolan movie with Denzel's son?
Okay. So yes, I know who you're talking about, but that is Tenet.
Tenet, yeah. She's the girl in Tenet.
Yeah. She's the one that jumps off the ship.
Yeah.
She's like, I envy that woman, not knowing that it was her.
Oh my God, is that her? Yeah, I think it's her.
Okay. Either way, yeah, she's stunning.
But like super tall, like so beautiful.
Yeah.
And Uma has like kind of like big features, like big eyes, big nose, like just like.
How tall is Uma Thurman, you think?
I mean, she's got to be, I don't know. I mean,
5'10"?
Maybe she's not super tall. Maybe she's only like 5'10", 5'11", but she seems like she's like.
That's still pretty tall.
Like that Elizabeth Debicki girl. She's like 6'1" or something like that. Like she's legit tall.
That's
but I mean, they're like,
bitch.
They're almost like exaggerated, like perfect human beings. You know what I'm saying? Like immortal.
They're pure, is what I think the word you're looking for.
Perfect,
they're
Aryan beauties.
Yeah. They're white.
Just the way.
They're pure. And they have light eyes, just the way God intended.
Well, that always seems to be like a undercurrent of all these movies, right? Like we're talking about genetic perfection. It's fucking always
that's what the Germans wanted.
blonde, blue-eyed white people, super tall, perfect. Yeah, it's kind of bullshit.
Sure.
But it's fucking America, bro.
Exactly. I do like that they called what like the police and stuff like that. He was like Hoovers, like the Hoovers were there like doing it, and then
FBI guys.
And they talk about FBI and stuff like, hey, that's a good reference because J. Edgar Hoover and everything. And when
that kind of goes with like the whole retro futury stuff. So it's like in the future, so everything sounds like a fucking Jetsons car, but it's like 1930s kind of.
Yeah. Well, I wrote that too. I was like, I like that the car,
30s
the
or
way
40s,
it looks, but yeah, it's like electric essentially. But it's like the driver like, yeah. So okay. My thought is, so he's supposed to be like this perfect specimen of a man, right? But his teeth are a little jacked up.
Ah, very true.
So like, how did he get away with that? Because Jude Law's teeth are pretty nice, like good. But then you see Ethan's who are a little jacked. His bottom row for sure, like more jacked than Will Ferrell. But yet his top looks okay. It's one of the teeth that's a little off, one of the front ones.
Yeah.
But like they let that slide.
I mean, they kind of all do though, right? The doctor says his junk ain't much to write home about.
I thought he said that the doctor's junk. Yes, yeah.
Uma says she might have a heart thing, right? So nothing's perfect, right? So maybe it's one tooth.
Nothing is cemented.
Would you rather be a genius or have a slight snaggle?
Well, I'm sorry. So what's the con and all that? So I could either be a genius or I can have a snaggle tooth. What's the bet? It should be like, do you want to be a genius but jacked up teeth, or do you want to be like this and have perfect teeth?
That's the choice you have to make.
I understand, but you said you want to be a genius or have a snaggle tooth. That's why I was like, well, I'd rather just be a genius then. But are you saying I have no teeth if I'm a genius?
No, what?
You said, do you want to be a genius or do you want to have a little snaggle tooth? And so my thought is, well,
I'm sorry. Fuck. You want to have perfect teeth, or do you want to have a genius with snaggletooth? Is that fucking
there?
That's
you? Perfect. That's.
Oh my god.
So okay,
you understood what I was trying to say.
No, I didn't. That's what I was saying. So okay, you want to have perfect teeth and not be a genius, or have a snaggletooth and be a genius? What would you rather have?
I want to have a fist and punch you in the face for.
You do have that.
Okay.
You'll never not have that. But you know what you won't have is this perfect specimen of a body right here to deflect that punch and kick your genitals.
How's that ankle holding up, buddy?
It's pretty rickety.
You hear the click?
All that scar tissue just moving around in my fucking foot.
All I'm saying is you understood my question.
I understood it.
Misspoke.
That's what I'm saying.
You had to point it out.
That's why I wanted to make sure, because I was like, what are you trying to say?
You're so petty.
I am not petty. Oh, I'm very petty, actually. But I'm very catty, too. But
so not just minutia of the movies. It's
which one do
minutia
you
of
want?
speech.
Would you rather be a genius with a snaggletooth or average and have perfect teeth?
Well, as somebody with actual perfect teeth,
didn't you tell me a while ago you had cavities and shit like that?
No. What?
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
When you went to the dentist, I swore that you're like, oh, I had to do this.
When's the last time I went to the dentist?
I don't know, 12 years ago?
You don't even know. So
when's
the last time we spoke about dentistry?
About 6 months ago.
That doesn't sound about right.
When's the last time you went to the dentist?
Probably that's December, maybe.
I haven't been to the dentist in a few years.
Wow.
Should probably do that.
I do not have cavities. How dare you?
Have you never had cavities?
This is literally the one thing I have going in my life is my perfect teeth. You're not going to take that away from me, you son of a bitch.
So you'd rather have perfect teeth and be average?
No, I'd rather be a genius, of course.
Okay, yeah. So I'd rather be a genius too and just have
with a little.
Yeah.
It's not even snaggle. It's just a little bit.
Yeah, it's just off. That's all it is. It's like, so there's straight. It's like straight, but it's like this. So it's like when he bites into something, you can tell the difference in this. Yeah. It's like because my bottom has a little bit of loose.
I think everyone's are supposed to be like that. Like my bottom teeth aren't perfect.
Oh, so then your teeth aren't. Oh, yeah, I see it.
Yeah. But I think it's because like someone told me, I don't remember. It might have been a dental hygienist, but like there's crowding down there, so it's a little jacked. It's a little crowded.
Mine's been like that since I was like young though.
Yeah,
doesn't matter. Anyway, I digress. So I did like the joke about Hoovers.
Anyway, all I'm saying is you're embarrassing, and you should smile with your mouth closed because I can't even look at you right now.
That's why I always smirk. But people say when I smirk, I look too smug.
That's right, you do.
I don't like my smile.
That's why I hate you.
I hate my smile so
Let me
much.
See. Give me a big one. That's fucking. Your top teeth are fucking perfect.
I know they are, but I wish they could be whiter.
I mean, they're not me, but they're pretty good.
They look fine, yes, but I don't like it. And so that's why I smirk. But then the smirk makes me look smug. And so people think I look smug. I look like a smart ass. I'm like, well, that's factual.
You also tilt your head when you smirk, too.
I do.
So that leads to the smugitude.
Smugitude? Yeah.
Smugosity.
I get it. And that's fine. But I just don't like my teeth smell. But people have said they liked it. I don't. Like my mom loves it. Ugh.
It's funny. I mean, I'm saying this as a straight man.
Mm-hmm. Are you?
Like I have. Jury's still up.
Yeah. I say that so much now too. Like, jury's still out on that one. They're still deliberating. We don't know. Anyway.
The best photo I have of you in my phone is
It's your background.
Yeah, it's my wallpaper. On and off. It's the anyway. It's of you.
The home screen.
Yeah, the home screen and the background. Yeah. But it's a photo of you smiling with sunglasses on.
How old is that photo? Because I don't do that.
We're at the movie studio.
Paramount?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just like a shot in action. It's kind of from far away. Maybe that's why it's good, because you can barely see it.
I look good from far, but far from
But
good.
it's a full smile picture.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Delete that.
And you have cool hair too, so I guess that counts.
Oh, that's not no longer. Yeah. Well, I need to grow this out because I had the cut recently, and I told her keep more on top. She's like, but I got to cut a little bit. I was like, I guess if you have to even it out. But
well, you want to trim it up. It's like a
I like the
like
length,
like a Christmas tree. You just want a nice clean edge on there.
Anyway, it's now just talking about my hair. It's gonna get really frustrating.
She doesn't like put it between her fingers and go like how much, and you tell her.
No. So here's what I did.
You want no cuts.
Yeah. When I went in there, I was
What
like,
about, like, the dead ends?
I want you to clean the sides, like make it a medium fade with a 2, and then top, leave it alone. But like if you can blend it, that's all I want to blend. But she was taking it off the top, not off the sides where the hair would hang. And so
Yeah, tell her like just a smidge.
there was one time.
Can't say smidge.
She did it. I could say smidge. There's one time she did it perfect. Like I got home, I was like, wow.
You go to the same girl.
Mm-hmm. And then the time since
You
she's
need to
done
literally
fine.
tell. I told the girl who does my hair. I was like, literally cut it exactly how you did last time because it was super perfect.
And you came home with a buzzed head.
Yeah.
I made a mistake.
She got up in her head about it.
Mm-hmm.
She started freaking out. She's like, I.
Well, there is another lady. What is? I made a mistake. I don't want to do an accent because I don't want to assume what like cuts your hair is. Mine's Vietnamese, but there is a lady there that she's cut my hair one at a time because my normal barber was just too busy. And I was like, well, it's all right, Tina. I made an appointment, but it's cool. And so the other woman did it, and she did it.
Really?
She also did it really fucking good. I was like, thank you. And I think her name's Angie. She did really fucking good. And they never let me tip them either. I think it's I've been going to her for years. Like it's just always, I'm just always there every couple months. But like they never let me tip. It's just like, give me a hug. I'm like, okay. And
That they won't take your money?
they take my money like for the actual cut, but for the tip, they're like, no, it's fine.
You don't pay with card?
No, what am I, a chump? No, because they actually don't. Well, they have an ATM card machine there, but they charge like $4 if you use it. So I just gotta go with cash. But since I know the, I guess, owner, Tina, I just like, Tina, can I Venmo you? She'd be like, yeah. So I'll send her 25 and then she'll send me the 5 back. I'm like, T. And like, cause as a tip, because it's $20, but they like will not let me tip. And I can appreciate that. But at the same time, I want like you.
Is that like a cultural thing? Like a Vietnamese thing? Like they don't
No,
tip?
they want money. They're fucking cheap. Like the Vietnamese, they're shady. No, but I'm just kidding. Actually, you know what I went through when I lived in Yorba Linda, that fucking house? They're like, no, we're not trying to sell this house still. And the whole time I lived there, I was like, I'm pretty sure they're trying to sell this house.
Yeah.
And luckily, right as I was leaving, they're like, oh yeah, we're selling this house. And like, it's someone's moving in like 60 days. Like, what the fuck? Anyway.
That's weird. Like, do they just pay them really well? And the owner said, don't take any tips. I'll just pay you real good.
Well, I think the owner is the lady that cuts my hair normally, or she's like she's married to the owner or something like that. But I think it's just because I've been going to her that she's like, no. Like, yes, for the haircut, but don't worry about the tip. And well, she's great.
I mean, it's good for you. That's cool.
Yeah, she's nice. So
Spent like fucking $40 on my haircut.
what? $40?
It's like, well, because I like the haircut plus the shampoo.
Oh, so I don't get that done. Yeah,
That's
it's just the
That's
dry
the best
cut.
part. Do they do it there?
No. Have you ever taken your hair? Have you done your haircut? I've talked about it before. If you take it to Paul Mitchell in Costa Mesa, it's the school, but they'll do it for you for like $15. Let me finish. Don't give me that face. So they have barber and then they have the salon. And so you do it as the barber, and so for the salon, there's a couple of stages. There's stage 1, there's stage 2. But for the barber, there's only one stage. And so the problem is it takes forever because as they're cutting your hair, they'll go, okay, hey, teacher, this is what I did. And they're like, okay. And then I would have done this, and they'll kind of taper it up a little bit. So when I went there the one time, I won't go back in because it took like 3 hours. But they washed my hair. So they washed it and they conditioned it. I was falling asleep because it just felt nice for someone to touch your head. So I get it. But I'm not going to spend $40 fucking to have someone.
Well, with tip.
So
It's
okay,
like
so
30 plus,
even 30, Michael.
30 plus, $8, $10
You work
tip,
in the
whatever.
general area now. Let me send you to my barber and let me see how you do.
Okay.
She doesn't do the massaging. Anyway, not about haircuts that we've talked about for a little too long, which I'm okay with.
Well, that's kind of what this whole movie is about, like attaining perfection, any which way you can.
So so I already said, oops, I don't want to do that. So I already said the electric cars looking like old cars and stuff, but with the technology that they have, I know you kind of touched point, like it looks old.
It's
it looks
called
dated.
it's what it's called, retro future. So
Okay.
it has an old style aesthetic with new technology. Kind of a Fifth Element ish. With like it's an old timey cab looking thing, but it's fucking
get
flying
it.
in the air. You know.
I get that.
Art Deco architecture, but with, brand new technology.
Which I don't remember fully. If was Blade Runner like that too?
I
I think their vehicles actually looked a little more futuristic than they did like old.
Man, I haven't seen it in so long, but I think so.
I think
yeah,
I have
yeah,
like
yeah,
three
yeah.
different versions of fucking that movie.
I think Blade Runner's a little more dystopian, like kind of shitty future. But yeah.
Okay.
Well, also like if the movie's kind of mystery, kind of noirish,
Yeah.
they definitely want to add some of that 40s kind of aesthetic to it. So it makes sense.
To skip away from that for a second, because I would love to talk about mechanical keyboards more and like how old those monitors looked and stuff like that. Because like
And proper ways to blend hair, but yeah.
The doctor, to go back on him really quick. So the doctor obviously had some kind of affection for Ethan Hunt's character because they seem
Hawk.
Fuck, why do I keep saying Ethan Hunt?
Because you
I
love Mission
watched
Impossible.
Yeah. So Ethan Hawke's character, so Vincent, obviously not knowing it's Vincent yet, but like at the end of the movie,
No, he does know.
Oh, no,
already
he knows at the end. He knew the whole time.
Yeah.
How did he know the whole time?
He's like, just so you know, guys who are right-handed normally don't
Oh, that
grab
was at
their
the end of
junk.
the movie, though. I'm asking.
No,
like,
but he's saying he's known the whole. I don't know if the whole time, but he's
he knows at
realized
that time
before.
Yeah.
No, he's known for a while. That's why he lets Vincent through.
So
One, because he's cool, because he's not a narc. But he's known ever since he realized all he does is stare at fucking Vincent's junk the whole time. So.
apparently.
But he's known since he's like, oh, if you're actually right-handed, you wouldn't grab it with your left.
So you could.
Which I don't know if it's true. I'm trying to think.
I don't either. I try to think too, and I'm like, I do use my left hand sometimes, but that's only because I'll be in a situation where I'll like, okay, let's say I'm at work and I've already touched things with my right hand. I don't want to put that touch onto my genitals, so I use my left hand that hasn't touched anything.
That's right.
So then I'll put my right hand against the wall or something like that. So I'm leaning over and just being.
Now that you're saying that, I do. Okay, yeah. When I'm at work, yeah.
Yeah. So I try to be conscious to use my left hand because I am right-handed. But if I do touch this with my right hand, like if I open the doorknob, I'm like, ugh, and I use my right hand, so I use my left to pee. But really,
You can also wash your hands before you go to the bathroom.
that's what he did in the which one's the one with
The live something water.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not Lady in the Water. The one that's the Guillermo del Toro. Fuck.
I keep on saying the weight of water. It's not the weight of water.
Yeah, but like the guy, how he washes his hands first,
Yeah.
and then he peed, and then he left. So yeah, I get that mentality that
Michael
he said.
Shannon.
Yeah, I fucking love him too. He's like every role I've seen him
Super
in.
creepy as well.
Yeah, that, but he's always brought it. In Knives Out, even he wasn't in it too much, but like he's great. Anyway, so the doctor though, he did not have to do that.
The shape of water.
There you go. When she smushes with the fish.
The shape. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Although I was not expecting, I only saw like the first half an hour where she's like rubbing one out in the bath. I was like, ooh, I wasn't prepared for this.
Full frontal on that movie too. Yeah.
But the doctor didn't have to do that.
I kind of hold on.
Okay,
Sorry.
go ahead.
I kind of hate that movie now because
It won an Academy Award for Best Picture.
well that too.
Yeah.
But like that's like all Guillermo does now. Like it's
Full frontal?
Well, it's just all his movies are like, okay, they're all set in the fucking 40s or whatever now. Like, I'm never leaving this. And they all look kind of green and kind of yellow. I'm never leaving this.
It's like a,
this
What's the
aesthetic
director?
ever again.
What's the director that did Sicario?
Dennis Villeneuve.
Kind of like that guy. He's very, with his greens, his yellows, just like a Fincher. It's like a lot of yellows, a lot of greens.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know.
Guillermo del Toro,
Guillermo
though.
just kind of bothers me for some reason. 'Cause it's
Well-
not just the color, it's time period. Like everything's like that last movie he did was kind of set in a similar time period, right?
which one was that?
The one that was just nominated for everything with Bradley Cooper and shit.
Oh, God. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the Murder Alley or something like that.
Yeah.
So I never saw that, but people have said that I would probably like it, but I don't get that.
I'm sure it'll be good. I don't know. I'm just
So he would be great if they did a movie based on, BioShock, because BioShock was a game that takes place in the future, but yet looks what is it called? Retro
retrofuturism.
Again, back to the doctor. So he did not have to do that for Ethan Hawke. Like he would have been like, oh yeah, fucking get this guy out of here. He's an invalid. But then I guess he envied the fact that he was able to do all that stuff. And he even said like, hey, I never told you about my kid. And like how the kid's not like pulling his weight or not what he would have wanted and stuff. That he would look up to someone like him to do what he's doing. Yeah. But again, my note is
Reaching your maximum potential.
even though you
Yeah.
weren't made
given
for
your limitations.
Right. So my note is the doctor definitely did not have to do that. Because what if the brother was waiting on the other side of that wall and then now busts Ethan Hawke, but also that doctor? Oh yeah, you let him through, you're fucking donezo.
Yeah.
Like your career's over. But he did it, and I mean that's cool that he did it. And he's hey, get the fuck out of here, you're gonna miss your flight. But that's really his career. Now, granted, he's probably a little older than Ethan Hawke, not a huge amount, I would say, but there goes his career, bro. You got to think of the your future, right?
So you're standing with the man. You think he should have turned him in.
Yeah.
Got his little reward.
You got to stick with the man, The man has never done me wrong, so the man knows what's right for me.
Well, that kind of goes to like just the discrimination just throughout the movie. Like fucking Alan Alda just wants to... Alda or Arkin?
Arkin,
sorry.
The detective, right?
Yeah, the detective. He's just like, got an invalid in here. That's the guy who did it. Like literally... Like they were allowed to work, like you're allowed to exist in this world, even though you're not modified.
Yeah. Prejudice.
Like, yeah. He's just guilty for being who he is. Like, prejudice. Very interesting.
Yeah. So, it's the one invalid. We hoovered this whole place. The one invalid we found, it's him.
But that's the thing. Like invalids clean the place.
Yeah.
So their DNA is all over the place too, in theory. Yeah.
Like in the way, even the
although they just test their crew. Like, okay, none of our guys. This isn't them, so it's someone else.
Yeah. And they were even like, oh, he was here like 2 years ago, and he just disappeared. So they came like, oh, they're just probably just a random hair that was here. And he's like, nah, not the way we clean this, or not the way this place is cleaned. You should see it. But then it makes me think too, okay, 2 years ago, he just up and left. So that's probably when he met Jude Law and stuff like that, right? So
no, he met Shaloub first. And
well, I get, okay, so that's fine.
That's fine.
But I mean, let's just say the time frame of meeting Shaloub into meeting Jude Law is a week. And so he does that week. He does all this stuff to become him. He gets the heightening surgery, which if that's a thing, that's pretty tight.
It is, I think.
Really?
Well, yes.
So I can be 5'10" if I wanted to. Nice.
Well, there are surgeries where they like break a bone or whatever to relieve pain, and then bone will grow back.
Right. But so that means they would have had to broken it and then stretched out his leg or something?
And the bone grows itself back.
That's
I don't think they put like a lattice or a structure for it to grow over, and then but yeah.
And it just grows around it and strengthens. Because I know when you break something and the bone reheals, it's supposed to be stronger. But why wouldn't that be more fragile?
What do you mean?
Like okay, if I broke my wrist, right, and then they reset it and then it heals, why does the bone become stronger and not weaker though? Because I would think that if with a break in it, with a fracture, that it would now be weaker in that point.
Yeah, but like if you have like a piece of wood you break, right, and you put 2 pieces of wood around it to secure it, now you have 2.5 pieces of wood around it, so it's stronger. Yes or no?
But like that how is that happening with my? I don't want to talk into this.
You have little things in there that fucking create your bone, and it forms and calcium and shit like that. And you have I think there's like little microorganisms that like wear the bone or shave the bone down to like normal size. I think when it like heals, it's like almost rounder, and then your body makes it nice,
jagged.
Nice.
Science is scary, is what I'm trying to say.
We don't know what the fuck we're talking about. We're not scientists. We sound like idiots. All I know is
you sound like I'm like I don't know.
It's brand new. And,
okay, fine. So
Brandon wants everything decrepit and breaking down.
Yeah,
fuck renovations.
So Jude Law, after he gets in the car accident, he's miserable, right? He got second place. He walks in front of a car
because his world doesn't make sense.
Right.
Like this is not what I was destined to be. Someone lied to me.
He's drunk.
Yeah.
He's a drunk. He smokes a lot of cigarettes.
I was saying he's Drago afaf Rocky beats him. Like, how is this possible? He's iron.
Yeah.
I don't want to say
yeah, you say like Arnold.
Rocky.
Yeah.
Or like Arnold.
I'm iron. Come on. And he's more like, you actually
he doesn't say it. He says it in Russian, and just the subtitles say he is iron.
But he says
what these
the very few parts of English that he says is like if he dies, he dies. Yeah. And then I will break you, or I will break him. I think it says I will break you.
I'll break you.
And then maybe like 1 or 2 other lines, and all the rest is the Russian.
Yeah, I think it's funny. It's one of those stats he has. He says like 7 things in the whole movie or something like that.
Yeah. Which, that's fine. He doesn't have to say anything. He's just with his big, mean sickle and hammer machine. But Jude Law, he lived a really shitty life after he got silver, and he's just miserable. So what the deal was that Ethan Hawke pays his bills, And then Jude Law will give him his DNA, his hair follicles, and all this stuff to maintain the life that he's trying to do so that we can go into space. Then he gives, and near the end of the movie, almost the end of the movie, he gives Ethan Hawke basically an endless supply of piss and blood and stuff like that. Or what it looks like. When you open that fridge, I was like, what is that? 3 tubes of pee and like some blood in there? When realistically, I would think that Ethan Hawke's not even coming back. Like he's going to die up there because of knowing his heart's all fucked up. Like my thought would be, because it's a year that he's gone, I think he's going to die up there. And the thought of his heart is what it is. Okay. But he kills himself. He goes inside the
incinerator,
the grill, but there's a button inside the fucking thing. To me, that should not be there. Because like for a safety thing, like that, whoever built that ship, they might need a button inside. You never know.
Self-incineration.
Yeah, like that does not. And I would think too.
It's just immolate. Probably don't want that setting on there.
It's like in Futurama.
Essentially a suicide machine at that point.
That's what I was going to say. In Futurama, they had a suicide machine in the very first episode. And like that's where Fry is going to use the thing. It's a phone booth when in reality it's a suicide booth. He doesn't know. And that's how he meets Bender. And Bender, even though he's trying to kill himself, he puts in the quarter and then he still has the string on it. So he pulls it back out still. And but anyway, there should not be a button on the inside of that at all. And you would also think too, if you're getting burned alive, now granted, I'm sure those flames are really, really, really hot no matter what, but like that's got to be the most severe pain that you've ever been in. And maybe they just didn't make audio because I imagine they're doing that close up. Oh, the pain. He's trying to press the button and it's not turning off. Yeah.
He goes to press the button, but as he gets closer, his finger just melts away and melts away more and more.
Yeah, it's the hottest around the edges of it. So
he goes to press the button, but the button's hot, so he can't press it.
Or he presses it, but he can't press it all the way because it's just nubs, and the nubs he's not strong enough. So his finger's all gone, and then his knuckles are going away. He just has whisk.
Well, because I think if you burnt, like, one, you're feeling everything because your skin's on fire. Mm-hmm. You can't breathe because of the smoke. Mm-hmm. You suffocate. It's the worst way.
The worst way.
Yeah.
Like that's the 2 worst ways to die to me is drowning or flames. Because flames, you're feeling the immense pain of the heat. You can't breathe. You're breathing in fire. And then drowning, you're just watching yourself like, I have nothing to breathe. And you're just dead. I mean, I'm sure getting stabbed and shot and all this, that's the worst thing too. But like the other two, flames and water, I mean, fuck. Anyway.
Yeah, it's hardcore.
So I digress. There should not be a button inside that fucking thing.
Who designed this thing?
Yeah. And so I know you were writing a lot of notes. What other notes do you have?
Let's see. This cast, like I said,
this cast
talked about Drago and everything like that.
This cast,
it reminded me of almost in the reverse. For some reason I brought it up. In fighting, so there's Daniel Cormier and John Jones, right?
John Jones, that fucking fuck.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of going to the point too. So. Not that John Jones doesn't have like an amazing mind for fighting either, but he has a lot of like natural gifts that he's just bestowed upon him.
Likes to hit women and stuff too.
Well, there's that also true.
Yeah.
But he's like crazy tall. He has literally the longest reach of anybody in the organization. He has a fucking chin like a motherfucker. Like you can't knock him out. So everyone, you wanted Cormier to win in their fights together because one, he's just a nice guy, kind of short and squat. Like you just pushing for him as
the Rudy.
Yeah. Okay. You're pushing for him like as the underdog, but it got to a point where it's like no matter what he did, he could not beat him. So it's like that second interview for that second fight after he got knocked out. Like you just see like one, he's crying, but like you just see like it's almost like a slow realization. Like no matter what I do, I can't compete with this.
Well, he doesn't have to compete against John Jones anymore because that fucking idiot. He got first. It was like many times with drugs, right?
Drugs.
And then you get
car
hurt.
crashes.
Yeah. And then
car crashes,
hitting women,
hitting a pregnant lady in a car, getting arrested by police. And, all that sort of thing.
Assault. Yeah. The good stuff. Like as you said, like you have someone that should be really a face of the UFC, right? For what he can bring to it and for what his like you said, he has all these attributes about him that he should be this ultimate fighter. Yet he's just made mistake after mistake.
Even then, like there's almost a sense of like phoniness and sociopath that there is to him just in general. Because when he first came out, John Jones, we're talking about this time, like it was all like super religious. Like, I'm a super nice guy. You know, I think he has like Bible scripture like tattooed on his chest and stuff like that. But in reality, he's just kind of like a fucking party dude.
Yeah.
You
Piece
know,
of shit.
you know, engaged to his girlfriend for 10 years or whatever. And they already have so many kids, never getting married, and, you know, hitting on like during like interviews, like hitting on the waitresses. Like, they actually write stories about this shit and stuff like that too.
Perfect.
But also, like, you already have all the gifts, and he's had like a couple like PEDs, performance enhancing, like.
Thanks for that. For saying what those are.
Yeah,
for
performance
the
enhancing.
listeners, PEDs, GHG, growth hormone. Oh wait, hold on. What is it?
Human growth hormone.
HGH. Yeah, GHG.
He didn't test for that. But I'm saying like that's the insecurity that you have, like, already being gifted as physically as you are, and the amazing mind for fighting. Because I'm saying, like, it's not just that he's super big. Like, that's not why he's beating everybody. Like, he used to beat everybody. But like, he's an amazing fighter. But even at that level, like, you still need performing enhancing drugs to push yourself further. You know, there's a whole thing. It's like, oh, he didn't actually use, or blah, blah, blah. You know, everyone made all the excuses in the world. Like, they fucking moved a fight card from Vegas to like California just to get, you know, it was a whole thing. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I get it though.
That
like,
level of like insecurity, like, that's
when
the
you
world.
want to be in the top, that you'll do anything to be there or stay on top.
Yeah.
And I get that mentality that people will have because you don't want to lose it. Just like with celebrities, right? They always want their, like, as they realize that they're no longer stars or no longer relevant, that they're, oh, I'm getting married, or, oh, a sex tape. Something like that happens, that they still stay in line. And it's truly sad.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I can kind of like understand, right? You grow accustomed to a certain thing, or like you're told like, oh, you're going to be the best. You're going to be the best. And you like, you start ranking up and doing all this shit. And like, you start losing. Ronda fucking Rousey. We talked about it many times.
She could not handle.
Yeah, she was at her peak because she was fighting women that could not compete at that time because they weren't at her level. But now that women were beyond her level, if not, which is at the equal, but she's got destroyed, and then she just fell off. Right? She took it in a bad way. You told me she was like saying shit in interviews afterwards, and
No, she would not do interviews.
oh, okay, and like just. And I get it. Like when you're at the top and like she's in movies and she's doing all this other shit, and then now I'm sure all that shit went away the moment she got knocked the fuck out twice. 3 times?
Twice.
Like gone. And where's she been since those fights? I haven't seen shit of her.
I mean, she does like wrestling stuff and stuff like that. So
I haven't seen shit of her.
gotcha.
I reiterate. Like there's anything.
But like fight wise, like legitimate fight wise, it's
yeah,
that's all
she's
gone.
done. Like unfortunately, I hate to say it. Like it's just that people get better. Like in any sport. Like no matter whether it's basketball, like anything, like you're never always going to be on the top. And in her case, unfortunately, she just did not go gracefully. And so even John Jones, as much as I don't know a lot about the UFC, I know enough of when I see things like on Reddit, oh, John Jones did this. Like
It's sad.
Yeah, it's truly. But
I mean, it's not even sad for him because he
did it to himself.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve sympathy. Like I'm not sad for him, but it's sad like in a human sense. Like, oh, this is what you've come to. Like it's sad to see.
Yeah, the downfall.
Yeah,
yeah. Ultimately, it's like when people like they're young, right, and they're up and coming, and they do something fucking stupid. Like whether you see it as an athlete or a performer or something like that, they just make a bad decision. I just saw a thing about making the band, right, with P. Diddy. Like there was the rapper, one of the guys that was on there. He just got charged with
wasn't Dylan?
Like no, with like sex trafficking and stuff. Ooh. And like he was trying. Basically, what he was doing was getting like he was talking to women in DMs on Instagram and Facebook, like, hey, come on down, we'll get you in my crew. And then it turns out he was just turning them into like prostitutes and stuff like that. And it's one of them. He in Chappelle's, they made fun of like a guy that looked like him. I don't remember which one he is, but like now, granted, he was never like, in my opinion, a celebrity or anything like that. But people knew of him, and he had a following and stuff like that. But still, like, just how you make these poor decisions, thinking, I'll be fine. In reality, like no matter what, at some point, the government's gonna catch on, or something's gonna catch on, and you're just like, look at Al Capone, motherfucker got put away for tax evasion, yet they couldn't get him on anything. Anyway, so my final note about this before I get to the last of your notes is, as he goes into space, he's looking up out of the windows, I guess. There's somehow windows at the top of the space shuttle. And
there's windows in... All right,
yeah, but they're like, you know, this big... Okay, there's certain length, yes. All but right. Like at the same time, he's looking up at them, right? And he's not like... You know, he's going through so many G's, and yet he looks normal, like, wee, this is fun. And my thought was, I get it. You wouldn't want to end a movie with someone going like their face getting smushed down because all the extreme pressure and the force. But that just kind of made me giggle a little bit.
Well, I kind of always put space movies in like two categories.
Okay.
Like the guys that go extra hard to make it as realistic as possible.
Like First Man?
Yeah. And then the other ones that are just, fuck it, whatever. Like Star Wars, like no one's floating in Star Wars other than Leia outside the spaceship.
Which that fucking blew my mind. Like, oh, she has force powers all of a sudden? When the fuck did this happen?
But I'm just like, there's movies that go like super hard, like, oh my God, what was the Sandra Bullock one? The Alfonso Cuarón movie?
That's...
Gravity.
I was saying Oddity, but I was thinking David Bowie.
Gravity. Or even 2001 where they do like the space spinning and, you want to float and shit like that. Interstellar, whatever. Like you're trying to be as accurate as possible. Or you're just kind of, they're in space. Fuck it. Have a good time.
Science? Who gives a shit?
Starship Troopers, like fucking whatever.
We could breathe on any planet we go on.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't really bother me. Either one or the other. You're either trying to be super accurate or not.
And they were not accurate.
Actually, funny. It's kind of not related, or maybe it's a little related. The Northman just came out. The Eggers movie, right?
Yeah. Tanked hard.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Well,
it's just such an art house movie. Like, who the fuck's gonna...
Robert Eggers. I couldn't remember his first name. But all the extra stuff that I was watching, like the interviews and everything like that, I don't know why it just always seems like it just happens. But his big thing was like, this is the most accurate Viking movie you've ever seen in your entire life, right?
Cool, because I asked for that. There's somebody asked for that.
Yes. I mean, you can either deal with the fallout, everyone saying like, oh, yeah, here's the experts. It's either Neil deGrasse Tyson if it's a space movie. It's like, well, actually, the sun would be in this position if you're,
I fucking love his voice, though. Like, Jesus Christ. I'm going to try to do it right now, but I cannot do that. Like, he's just too soft and silly spoken.
He's playing the Wiltern. I'm going with Mondo.
Is he going to be performing? Is he jamming with a guitar or what?
Yeah, he's out there singing space songs.
Hey guys, I'm slapping the bass.
Ground controls. That's him.
Yeah, every space song he's gonna sing. So he's singing Space Oddity.
He's doing that one, but then Brian Cox, another physicist, he's doing the 4, 3, 2.
He's doing the Peter Schilling's version. They're doing them at the same time.
There's levels of guy,
I like the Peter Schilling version better than the Bowie for sure.
Song.
His is just faster. It's funner. Anyway,
so like when I guess I didn't know before the end of the weekend, but I was like, he seems like he's falling into a category of like down to like everything specific, like, oh, these boats,
we would have used this type of wood.
And it just sounds expensive. Yeah, like these boats are the most accurate ships that they would use. The dress is as accurate as it.
Bork in there.
Yeah, and exactly.
Bork.
Even though she's from Iceland, although they spend a lot of time in Iceland, so it makes sense that she's there. But
I meant Bjork, everybody, but we say Bork.
Hey, doing there, Bork.
Hey, Bork. Mine sounds like
Kermit. Yeah. I'm thinking of SNL.
Charles Barkley. Yeah, Charles Barkley and Bjork. Yeah, but mine was more
Thompson
like,
played it.
Yeah, it was more like mine was like a Bert and Ernie.
Yeah.
Hey there, Bork.
Yeah.
No, that was Kermit. That's for sure. Kermit. Yeah. Kermit.
No, that's Ernie talking to Bert.
There we go.
Hey,
Bert.
Hey, Bert. Hey, Bert. Yeah.
Okay, guys, go ahead.
Sorry. So like it. Try to be as accurate as possible, spending all this fucking money, more money than you need to make it as, whatever. I mean, we built these fucking things from the ground up, and then you don't make that much money. So, but it reminds me of like, remember Evan Almighty?
Yeah.
The sequel
the second one?
Yeah. They were like, this is the most green movie you've ever seen. Like we are carbon neutral. Like we're spending all this money and have all these people just to make this absolutely perfect for the environment. And then it fucking bombs or it sucks and stuff like that. And then there's like, is it Heaven's Gate? Oh, fuck. Now I forgot what it was called.
Doesn't matter.
Michael Cimino, the guy who directed Deer Hunter. So he nominated for all these Oscars and shit like that, right? So his next movie was like, we'll give you all the money you want, make whatever movie you want. And he goes to make this movie, and it's like, he's a perfectionist, and he's an asshole, and everything has to be built from the ground up. And he's like, I don't like where this building sits on this street. We're going to tear it all down and move it literally like 2 feet to the left or something like that. So I was like, what the fuck? This guy's an egomaniac piece of shit. Like, what the fuck is wrong with him? Of course, the movie comes out and it's a fucking bomb completely, and he doesn't work again for fucking 5 years because he's a piece of shit. So I just got those vibes from The Northman. So
did you like that movie though?
it was good, but like I said, in like the build, I'm getting a little bit of those vibes, and then of course it doesn't do that great. But
it looked promising. But then reading the reviews, many people said like, it's another case of a director getting all this money to make something very accurate, which is fine, but like it tanks because it was like, who wanted this movie? Like, who was asking, I need a Viking movie. I want to know what a Northman was like up to when he's getting vengeance for his father being murdered. Like, It looked visually stunning for a movie, but so did fucking Green Knight. And I didn't see Green Knight, but I heard
Green
good
Knight's
things about
fucking
it.
super good.
Yeah, I heard good things about that one. And again, I'm not hearing bad things about the Northman. Northman?
The Northman.
Okay. It just fucks my
Or
tongue
the
a little
Northman.
bit. I don't think it's Northman. Yeah. Nightman. Anyway, so Gattaca. Do you have anything else you want to say about it before we...
I think that's kind of it. Oh, I just had a question, and I guess I answered my own question kind of with looking it up.
Let me answer your question with another question.
Yes, let me answer that by asking you this.
Yeah.
Especially because of the cop, because fucking Alan, the
brother.
Like, we got this guy.
Oh, Arkin. Yeah,
Arkin.
yeah. Wait, really quick. So the brother Anton is the lead detective. Arkin is, let's just say, the second in line.
Yeah, he's fucking pushy as fuck.
Yeah, he's not only pushing his, like, if I was
Not
the
listening
lead
to his
detective,
commander.
yeah, and I'm like, hey, Lynn, we just gotta fucking this. You know, we're gonna go do this instead. Here's what I did. I fucking set this up. And we're gonna, like, I'd be like, buddy, what the fuck? I told you to do this. Focus on the building. Make it 5-mile radius.
Probed enter. We swabbed everyone's ass. We got them all, guys.
I didn't say anything about an ass. Yeah, but you said you want to probe them, right? So we're going ins and out of the crevices. Like, went into the...
Right, the creases.
Yeah. So, like, he wasn't really listening to Anton. He was, but he wasn't. And
at the end, he's like, we got him, bro. You just fucking confessed. We're good.
He's like, hey, you know
Deuces.
what? I should listen to you the whole time. Because look, this motherfucker was here the whole time. And yet he's like...
Literally what he says, like, it's probably came from inside. He's like, yeah, for sure.
It's one of those invalids. It's always those scumbag invalids, right? They're always
I've been doing this for 90 years. He's like, fucking...
Yeah,
I'm
clearly.
140.
Yeah, my friend Morgan over here. And then I got my other friend. What was that movie that they're all in? Morgan Freeman. I think it was it...
Oh, the old guys.
Yeah, it was
Michael Caine. Is he
yeah,
one
that's
of
what I
them?
was thinking.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of Michael Caine. Michael Caine.
Oh my god.
You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off. Anyway, so you had no more notes about Gattaca.
No, I did.
Oh, what is it? I'm sorry.
So my thought is, it's I don't know if it has directly to do with that Gattaca, but so they're so afraid of these people, right? They don't want them.
The invalids.
Yeah, the invalids. I'm like, why not just bar natural birth and make everybody modified?
Sure.
If you're so afraid of...
Well, do
of the
people have to pay for this? Does it seem like this is a process that they have to pay extra for?
I'm sure it ain't free, but yeah.
You know what is free? Freedom.
You know what, man? You're fucking right.
I'm on something with that.
Yeah.
Welcome to America, bro.
But it also makes sense, like, well, if everyone's modified and everyone's supposed to be spectacular... Like,
would you even say spectacular?
oh, wow. Tied it all together. That's the end of the season, everybody.
That's not the end of the season. That's the end of the show.
Yeah, that's it. We did it.
We're going to be called something different now. It's going to be called Mike and Brandon.
Did you guys expect that? I don't think you did.
This is the final episode.
Mine was blown.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah. If you made another show right now, what are we called?
I don't know. Fucking movie time fun zone.
Super awesome fun time movie review with Brandon and Mike. Fun fact, everybody. Mike and I did try to do this many years ago, but with like YouTube, when YouTube was kind of coming up, and it was very poorly executed by both of us. Because what did we review again? It was Dark Knight Rises.
I think it was Dark Knight.
Okay, Dark Knight. I think we even talked about like an old movie, but we were filming it with my laptop's webcam, which is like very poorly done at that time. It was like 480p, and that was when Mike and I were both drastically lighter because we're both like, we definitely do not look as full as we did back then. We were a lot lighter. I would say I was like one.
I thought you meant skin tone. I was like, that's kind of racist, bro. What the fuck are you talking about?
Just wait.
Weight-wise, yeah.
Yeah, weight for sure. But like our rating system, we would raise the roof. Like it was like, how many did we? It was like,
all right, first off, why do you bring this up every
I just think it's fun.
5 seconds?
Every 5 seconds, I do not bring this up every 5
Secondly,
seconds.
it was done ironically. Like, it's silly. Like,
Was it?
I don't normally raise roofs
Only when you dance.
to approve things.
Yeah. When you dance, when you approve of people's clothing styles, like, hey, that's 3 raises of the roof for that one. Anyway.
Also, I literally said nothing in those episodes. I don't know if you remember that or not. I'm
Yes,
just, like,
do you want me to play it for you? I still have
really.
it.
I don't want to.
Yeah, that's what I fucking thought. Because I actually put it on YouTube. It's private, so you have to get a link. But I put it on there because remember I sent it to everybody. It's in Mambi. So I was like, hey, look at Mike and I be idiots. So
I'm glad I forgot that.
yeah. Well,
Anyway, shut the fuck up. Let me finish my point.
Sure.
So like, well, why don't you just, I don't know, kill everybody, but like just not allow that kind of birth. But it's like, well, no, they need them to do all the work to like, keep society
shit work.
functioning. Yeah.
plumbers. I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but I'm just saying the work that people don't want to do, right?
Like custodians and shit.
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
Like it's just like they want to keep their hands on a keyboard. They don't want to get their fingers dirty and stuff like that. Like they want the manual labor jobs to be done by the invalids.
Right. But then I just thought of like the beginning of COVID. like everyone's like freaking the fuck out, everyone's staying home, but like who still has to go to work and do all the things? Like it's all the fucking grocery workers and the sanitation guys and my dumb ass out there fucking keeping the fucking gas on or whatever.
Thanks, buddy.
But then like what happens? Like the fucking, top billionaires get like $2 trillion more in the past like 2 years. Like it's kind of ridiculous. All I'm saying, like, this is communist propaganda.
Sure.
I will not stand for this kind of movie.
I will never again.
This is bullshit.
Yeah.
Mike just let me take it up.
Mike just left everybody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are fucking.
Mike just drove away, everybody, and he drove away in some old timey blimp. Anyhow, so Gattaca, did you like this movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if I liked it as much as the first time I saw it, but it's a little more thought provoking. Sure. Only because I guess knowing we're going to do a show about it, I try to think about these things more. So
yeah,
it worked out pretty good.
Would you recommend this movie
to nobody? No, yeah, it's good. It's interesting. It's funny.
Yeah,
not funny. It's good.
It had a few moments I mean, I'm not hilarious.
I misspoke. I'm sorry.
No, there's like maybe two moments where I was like, all right, like again, that was an attempt at releasing some of the tension and like the drama, and it was like with Ethan Hawke and Jude, really.
Yeah, he said his name right.
Hey, it was a struggle if you didn't see Ethan Hawke. Yeah. Anyhow, I did enjoy the movie as well. I think I liked it just as much as the original time when I saw it. It wasn't like a bad thing. I just like, okay. Yeah, I would say thought-provoking because at that time when I saw it, I might have been like maybe early 20s, if that. Yeah. But
I think it's when I start watching it, this time around, it's like, this is as good as I remember it. But then it got pretty good.
Yeah. Can you imagine doing that scrub bath every morning? Like that probably had to be like a
well, I mean, that's the dedication. Yeah. Like that's what he's going through.
Like
when
hard bristle.
He tells his brothers, like, how did I beat you? I was willing to die in there.
Yeah.
He's Rocky. He's Rocky 4. Like
he's swimming with not the anticipation of going back. Yeah. He's just swimming to just beat him.
You have to kill me to beat me.
Yeah.
Like as much genetic modification as you can get. Like if you're not the person, if you're not willing to put that in as a human being, you're not going to win.
Sure. So then the next question I bring up is, what are the next movies we're going to watch?
This, off the top of my head.
Sure.
No pushing.
no preemptive
checking.
No edited
this
podcast where we talked for at least 3 to 4 minutes about what we're gonna do.
Maybe something like, I don't know, Hell or High Water. Maybe
that I have to edit out.
There?
Yeah, you know what? Hell or High Water's on Netflix.
All right,
you should watch that.
All right.
So the next episode we're going to do is Hell or High Water, and then by that next episode we'll know what the following movie is. Hopefully more preparedly. In the next episode. Not next episode, so not Hell or High Water, but the following episode.
I just thought of something.
That is going to be our final episode of this season of season 2, and then Mike and I will have a month break. Technically, we will be recording just so that we can get ahead of things, so that we have time to edit and do all that other shit. But one other thing, Mike, I don't think I've realized this. I was using a different uploading software, website for our social media. That it has not been updating. I've gone to realize. Ooh. So for the last 4 episodes, it has not updated shit. So I made posts for Instagram, Facebook,
our views,
and Twitter.
Our listens have been 0 for the past 4?
No, our listeners have been strictly based on the listening because I haven't even been texting people about it. Because some people are like, oh, I want you to spam me. I'm like, all right, I get it. Like that makes sense. Like I was saying similar things to everybody, but I was still a specific text for them. Like it wasn't like just a generic copy paste. Like it was everybody's getting an individual text and hey,
sounds like a lot of work.
It is. That's how much I'm
glad
dedicated.
I don't do it.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're not dedicated. But I would do that. But we're still getting good listens. So the people are subscribing and they just know. I've actually never told people to. I don't think I did to
organic,
subscribe.
Man. Fucking just
Dude,
word of mouth,
so organic, bro.
Disruptor. But anyway. Fucking what are the other words? I can't remember.
Okay, stop with keywords. So the next episode is going to be Hell or High Water, and then after that episode, whatever we do, that is going to be the final for season 2. And then again, we'll have a month off.
Everyone, I have an idea for a movie, but it's a romantic comedy.
Sure.
I'm thinking Brandon will probably say no.
Okay.
I'm not totally sure if it's streaming, but I think it is. We'll wait till next week. And I'll check and I'll know for
sure. I was
sure.
when you're going to say it right there. Because, I thought this was, I'm sorry, this says Dark Shadows. That's the Johnny Depp one. But I thought it said What We Do in the Shadows.
I mean, we can do like a Johnny Depp movie in honor of his seeming not asshole.
Have you seen any of that stuff? Like the clips from them? Because she looks horrible.
Yeah.
They're both toxic people no matter what. But going into it, I'm always going to be on the side of the accuser, essentially. Yeah. Like whether it's a man or a woman. But now hearing the testimony of all this shit, I'm like, oh yeah, she's fucking up. Like, why would you even think you're gonna win this? Now, I'm not a defender. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not the jury or anything.
Well, it's
like
not
that.
criminal, right? It's just his
It's
case
defamation.
against her, defamation, right?
Yeah. So like $30 million is what he's suing her for. But like listening to the stuff, listening to her audio clips of her calling him a fucking pussy and all that shit. I'm like, girl, what the fuck did you think like was going to happen with this? Like, again, they're both pretty toxic, but he comes out looking less toxic than what she is.
Is he toxic too?
Well, like from what I understood, like he wasn't the best either. Like he would be aggressive with her, but not like striking her and not being like shit. He'd like yell at her and stuff like that, but not like her where she's like, I'm not punching you, Johnny. I'm hitting you. Like, what the fuck does that mean then? You're using your fists. What does that mean? Anyway, chopping off the tip of his finger and stuff like that. Like saying like, who's going to believe you? You're a man. Like
that's like barring that stuff, like especially like the yelling and the angry at each other, like the volatility of that relationship, like that's just shit. Like I don't want to know any of that. Like that's your relationship and that's how you deal with people in your relationships. Like that's what you have to deal with. So if he's like bad in that regard, I guess that's what you're dealing with.
Right.
But like we shouldn't know any of that shit.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
the fact that she took it to that next step to try to, I guess, what do you call it? I guess blackmail-ish.
Sure.
I guess what she's doing to get the money.
Well, there's
out of
like
him.
Apparently now more so.
She didn't hand over any of the money to charity like she said she would.
Like how much was that? Like fucking
$4 million, something like that. I don't remember exactly.
And then she like now there's a petition. Now the petition's at like 2 point something million people to not have her in Aquaman 2. I'm like, didn't they already finish filming that movie? But
They got her out now.
Yeah. Well, they could. I mean, they can fucking plumber her.
Ooh, they can Simone her like Andrew Nichols' movie with Al Pacino.
Well, I was gonna say like, what is it, Jonathan Plummer? Or was it Plummer?
Oh, Christopher Plummer.
Christopher Plummer.
Oh, with yeah.
So
Spacey,
Spacey. But anyway, so Hell or High Water is the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this one. You can make a
It's a
recommendation.
good movie, guys. You'll like it.
You can make recommendations for us to watch on our website, which is speCrapular.com, or you can email us at speCrapular@gmail.com. And Mike, why don't you take us away?
I didn't even think of speCrapular. I don't know why I went psycho. Like that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Fuck it. We're good.
Okay. Thanks. Bye.